Hello and welcome to the New Normal with Steve Benaquist. I'm New Normal and this is the Steve Benaquist. Here we are in the New Normal Lounge, chilling with a slightly new setup. Pardon my sip of the old ginkgo biloba. But yeah, we got a new light. The Bradley Bob's lighting system is incorporated, but we have something additional. We're doing a little different thing with the camera setup. We do still have our platypus, our wooden guy, and our Himalayan sea salt lamp, but changes. It's spring. It's time for renewal. It's a time for change, and it's almost a time for the first anniversary of this here show, The New Normal with Steve Benaquist, with The New Normal. That's right, next week will mark 1 year, and even though we've slowed down from 5 shows a week to once a week, it's still going to have averaged out to about 1 show every 3 days for the last calendar year. So we're excited. We're going to do some things. We're going to do some giveaways. Start watching some old episodes. If you correctly tally up the number of times I say Steve Benaquist in these first episodes, don't worry, the rules and the prizes. There's going to be a t-shirt. But Guillaume is going to make a return. Hell, maybe I'll even make you a private episode. We'll find all that out later. But first, this is no time for wallowing in nostalgia. We get to deal with what this show's mission is, which is helping you through the new normal as it changes so swiftly in these early 20s, these crazy, lazy days of the early 20s. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, we're going to talk about the change in the status of COVID here in the Golden State, or at least my corner of it, to yellow. How golden is that? That's coming up. We're also going to talk about a scary trend in my I read the news app, and my top 4 headlines all had a really creepy through line. We'll talk about that coming up. And it's tax time. You only have till the 17th of... You only have till the 17th to file. All right, I need one more sip. It was the biloba. Had me by the tongue. You have till the 17th. You know when you're going to file. Anyway, my supposed tax guy, David Yang, keeps bugging me with his fake Jamaican accent. There's another message from him. Please, please tell me how to let him down gently. Maybe it would be by saying that on this show and then him seeing it. Anyway, and a little, another installment of Spoiler Alert, which is where I totally spoil the plot and review a movie that's, well, so far they've been at least 40 years old, so you've had lots of time to see them. All right, let's go. Oh, and before any of that, just like us, subscribe to us, share us, roll us around. We want to bring in the new year with a bang, and wouldn't that be great? So share us, write some comments, interact, little feedback, and you can strap on the feed bag while you do it. So, COVID here in LA is quite good. I don't mean that the disease is doing quite well. I mean that this city has the lowest rate of infection and death in 7 months. There was that big surge in October. And we are being let down to the yellow tier, which I understand to mean the only 1 tier away from complete safety. And so things are opening up. You already can go to a movie in limited capacity. You can go to a museum. Although I try to look into it about LACMA. I love the LA County Museum of Art, but it seemed like a lot of hoops to jump through. Maybe I don't love art as much as I thought. But bars are open too. You can actually go inside one, which again, in Southern California, it's not necessary unless you're one of the many bars that doesn't have any outside space. And I want to make an individual recommendation. I want to hype my man, Tom Sigsby, and his wonderful bar in Eagle Rock, California, a suburb of LA, called The Fable. please go to the Fable. Only about 30 of you at a time, I think, can fit. But, wait. It'll be like the good old days of clubbing in Hollywood. You just wait in that line in your dress that barely covers your ass. And ladies, you can wear something too. And go to the Fable. Tom's a good man, good taste in drinks, mixes a good one, has cool beers and ciders and things. And he has a family, for crying out loud. So that's where that's at. I hope your corner of the country is getting better as well. I know not everywhere is, but go get your vaccination. It couldn't hurt, except briefly and right in your arm. And then maybe you'll feel tired for a day or two, and then you're all right. And then you can go do stuff without fear of killing anybody. Moving on. All right. I read the news every day, maybe a little too much. I'd like to get away from it, but in the meantime, I do use the news app on my iPhone, and I allow a bunch of different sources in there. I may even share an image of this screenshot here. But yesterday, the top 4 headlines all had a creepy theme running through them, and I'll read them first before I say what I think that through line is, and let you try to piece it together. All right, first up, federal judge overturns CDC's eviction moratorium. Well, that's bad. Then the Wall Street Journal says Trump's ban from Facebook is upheld, but panel orders review. Mixed news. Fox News says top Republicans back a replacement for Liz Cheney amid battle over Trump. And NBC says Atlanta board reverses firing of officer charged in Rayshard Brooks's death. Killing. I actually cut it off. I don't know what the final word was. But in any case, they hired him back. All those things, I'd say haters gonna hate. Might be an overly glib way of observing it. We're gonna need a bigger boat. It's bad. It's bad. Why are federal judges overturning the CDC's eviction moratorium right now? It's been 1 calendar year since this thing barely started. People are still struggling. They just got $1,400. Yeah, that's gonna help them find a new apartment. By the way, rents have gone up faster in the last year in Los Angeles than they have in previous years. So just because the economy sucks doesn't keep landlords from making a buck. So, and I understand landlords are people. They got bills to pay. They have mortgages and taxes and water bills and electric bills. But come on. Trump's ban from Facebook is upheld, but panel orders review. This is an interesting one. There was almost a Rorschach test, depending on who reported it. It was a headline of many things, but I had liberal friends saying, "Isn't this great news? They upheld his ban." And then I think Fox had a headline saying, really emphasizing the fact that the panel also said you only have 6 months. This can't be something that you keep in limbo forever. You must say, yeah, he's permanently banned or not within the next 6 months. And I don't like that. I think 6 months will be so much further away from the insurrection of January 6th, which is the reason he was banned in the first place, that, I don't know, people may feel like, hey, everything's all right again. That's the real through line of these headlines. Nothing is all right again. We have razor thin, and the Democrats, Joe Biden has a razor thin margin in both houses of Congress, and who knows whether that's going to tip away from him anytime soon. Speaking of that, one of the 10 Republicans to go along with impeaching him and saying that he was wrong, Trump that is, Liz Cheney. Top Republicans back a replacement for Liz Cheney amid battle over Trump. Let's be clear, the only thing she did was, she's no great, she's super conservative, but she was willing to acknowledge the truth, which is that Trump was responsible for that insurrection. And just daring to say that, the fact that that is still what rules the Republican Party is scary and no bueno. That's Spanish for not good. And the third one, Atlanta board reverses firing of officer charged in Rayshard Brooks's killing. Right? Everyone knew. You don't count your chickens just, right after the trial of Derek Chauvin. So, I don't know. The MAGA thing has just crept under everyone's skin. And yeah, some of you may have noticed, by the way, yeah, I have Wall Street Journal and Fox News in my feed. I've always been one to want to have my finger on a couple different pulses ever since my Italian teacher, Claudio Mazzola, in college bemoaned Americans for getting their news from one source and naively assuming that it was all factual and neutral and objectively true. I don't know if that's true about Americans. In fact, maybe there's some guy with a MAGA hat on the other side saying, excuse me, sir, I also consult multiple sources. I read Newsmax and OANN and Breitbart, whichever one of those you read. Tic-tac-toe, mother effer. Because he wouldn't say checkmate because he can't play chess. Anyway, so yeah, there's that through line. Look alive, stay alert, reason with your conservative friends, and keep an open heart. I pray for you. I pray for you. Taxes, it's tax time, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you got till May 17th, and I keep getting these messages I've been sharing with you from my this guy who's going to be my tax guy. We met at my friend's party, and his name is David Yang. Don't worry, I'm not trying to besmirch him, but he's already outed himself on a previous message, and he's from Tennessee. He's not from Jamaica. He claims that the fact that he's spent, in his words, nearly half a decade there, 3.5 years he's owned a timeshare and spends up to 12 weeks a year in this timeshare, has given him an unshakable Jamaican accent. So he says. So let me play you his latest message, and maybe you can help me decide just how I can let him down.
Rude boys, did they run to the Babylon? This is your tax guy, David Young, calling you Thursday at about 2 p.m. here in Nashville, Tennessee. Listen, we're running away out of time to file your taxes, man. Hey, even with the extension, you only have till May 17th. And that's fast approaching. You're not going to decline, and I need time, so no, I can't lie. You're my only client left in the whole world. I don't know why, but ever since I come back from Jamaica, nobody wants your boy Cutty Young doing their taxes. Me not overstand, but I suppose it's the effect of the coronavirus pandemic in Babylon. I don't know what else it could be, but things getting desperate. Ring me back. Overclose. Bye. Hear me?
Cutty Yang. And also, well, let me hear that again. Did he go into a... There you go, listen to the whole thing again. Anyway, I thought I heard him talking a Tennessee accent at the end. I don't know. What do you think? Should I just use him? God, it sucks. I hate hurting people. What, do we have time for spoiler alert? I don't know. Maybe we'll save it. We're going to do another, maybe a couple of mini shows to build up to next week. Anyway, we'll get to it. But the movie is The Omen. So if you want to spoiler alert for yourself for next time, just go ahead and watch it. And stay tuned. Subscribe to me, and then you'll know if another one pops up before next Friday. Hit that subscribe button, won't you? I guess that truly is all we have time for on this episode of The New Normal with Steve Benaquist. Till next time, I'm Steve Benaquist, reminding you that if it ain't new, it ain't normal.